Council meeting of Bellevue Borough. This meeting will come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
President Woshner. Here. Mayor Doscher.
Here.
Solicitor Racunas.
Here.
Okay, are there any visitors who wish to speak? If you can step up to the podium. You have 5 minutes now, and we'll have 2 minutes at the end of the meeting. Please state your name and address, and if you can also write it on the register as well.
Okay. My name is Dan Geyer. I'm a physical therapist at Scisciani home care. I work with a young lady named Camello, DeSantis. Unfortunately, the apartment she was in burned in May, the Arlington Avenue in Bellevue. So a couple of my colleagues wanted to do something for her, so we decided to do a fundraiser. So we're looking for a place to have it, and we settled upon the municipal park here, Memorial Park.
Memorial?
Yeah, to get girls there. So I was told because it was a fundraiser, I had to come before council.
Okay, what date?
Well, I don't have a date because they didn't want to deal with that until we got approval. It looks like sometime in August. And it would be just a picnic. We would charge an admission, probably have hot dogs, hamburgers, and have a silent auction.
So you would be using one of the shelters?
Yes.
And the name of the person?
Paula DeSantis, DeSantis. She has 2 daughters and 2 dogs and 2 cats, and I believe one of the animals perished in the fire afterwards. I think the firemen revived her or something. I'm sorry?
I thought all the dogs passed, and there was only one cat that survived, I think.
Yeah. Well, I heard they had to get 1 dog away because they ended up living, where they were.
Oh, okay, so I'm surprised. Okay. Whitney, what is the process for this?
I would suggest, do you have a date in August that you want? And is
If
there,
it's available, well, I don't know what's available, but I'm thinking the 18th.
I will look into the 18th if you can leave your phone. Well, you've left
Yes.
that for me.
Yes.
I will look into that date. If that date isn't available, I'll come back to you with additional dates, and then it will need to be approved by council. But that can be done at the July meeting. So,
Anyway, we could.
You want to do it sooner, so
Only
you
so we can-
publicize it?
Yes, that's right. Could I talk to whoever's in charge, maybe it's you, whoever's in charge of the available dates and then pick something over the phone?
The date's available.
Oh, it is?
That's already been checked out. My wife and I are the ones that are paying for it to donate to the cause. This gentleman just told you to come up here and ask permission because of the nature of the beast.
Okay, so it definitely is the 18th that you have.
If that's,
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
that's,
Saturday.
good.
council meeting vote on it tonight.
Okay. Jim, could you add that, which Jane is going to be making the motion, so.
July 18th is the Thursday.
August.
Yes, what is August?
It's a Sunday. Should be a Sunday.
The 17th is Saturday. Whatever day it is.
Did you say the 17th?
Whatever day was talked about,
It's
so
Sunday.
we confirmed that last day yesterday.
Okay. Okay, so we will make a motion during the Parks and Recreation part of that particular committee report.
Okay, thank you so much.
Then after this, you'll have to call down to the borough, secretary and make all the arrangements.
That's fine. Okay, thank you.
I'll take it.
Any other visitors who wish to speak? Okay. No other visitors wish to speak. Thank you for coming this evening. Okay.
I'm Wivel, 14 East Rosary Avenue. Is there a Bellevue town newsletter or community newsletter that's municipally put together and distributed?
Now, why do you ask that?
Well, I asked that because on the Bellevue Borough website.
That, you know what, I was on that today, and I was wondering that too.
Mr. Mayor, I know that you instructed the police chief to be the person who runs the website. He's the webmaster. And I know that in the past you have linked private businesses to the municipal website. Do you know where do those email addresses go that are being collected on the Bellevue Borough website?
No, I don't. I wasn't aware we're collecting any email addresses.
We do have a census enumerator that I know has been instructed to collect emails from the businesses. So at some point we would be able to do, an email blast. So I know she's doing that.
Is that through this borough website?
I'm not exactly
And
sure.
is who
I'm not
has access to those email addresses? I mean, as a citizen of Bellevue, I'd like to know that because it actually has been an ongoing issue. Who has control of communications for the borough?
Well, the website is a joint effort in terms of updating it, so the chief of police, like Linda said, he can update it, as well as the borough secretary. When the agendas are published, she has the ability to upload items and go onto the Facebook page and post updates on Facebook. I know that the permanent manager will have that ability as well. I don't know. But so it's a joint effort because it is a lot to keep up with.
What is your concern, Carol?
My concern is why can't, if there are notices to be put out, why aren't they just posted on the borough website? I understand why a private business would have a raffle for dinner for two at a Vivo restaurant, and that private business is entitled to collect email addresses and cell phone numbers. I understand how that works. We all understand how marketing works. And we have some real masters of that are very politically active here in Bellevue now. My concern is who is getting those email addresses. Because I'd like to have them too, if anybody else has them. I think they should not be collected. If there's information for the borough to publish, that's why we have a website, is it not? Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question. What part of the website is Wivel? And I didn't catch the first part. What part of the website are you referring to? Because I haven't been on it for a while.
Yeah, there is a sign-up page. I think it may be even on the home page where it says, sign up for our newsletter.
It is. I was
On
on
the
it
home
today.
page. And then if you click on that, it takes you to a registration form where they want your name and maybe your address. They want to know if you're a resident or if you're a non-resident, if you're a business owner. Who needs that information in my government? I mean, with all this stuff about Thomas Snowden and Bradley Manning and all, and all the garbage we've had in Bellevue about websites and propaganda, I'm very uncomfortable with anybody having that information.
You know what, I'm glad you brought it up because that was something that I was going to bring up at our finance committee. So we will be asking more about that because we don't have a newsletter. I think at one time we were talking about having one, but at this point we don't.
Yeah, I
So
know,
I
private
think
Good evening. As Council President Woshner said, my name is Joyce, and I'm here from Connect this evening. And first, I'd just like to thank you for this opportunity, and thank Council President Woshner for helping me schedule this. Bellevue's been very involved in Connect. For those of you who don't know, Connect is the Congress of Neighboring Communities, which connects the city of Pittsburgh and the municipalities that surround the city and are adjacent to the city. And Bellevue was a critical piece of that and has been involved since the inception. Your council president is now on our executive committee. Councilwoman Coder is an officer, so Bellevue was very involved. And what we're involved in right now is an outreach initiative on the water and sewer issue. And we're not here to tell you that you have a feasibility study due in July. We know the municipalities know that. The basic message of our outreach is that this isn't going to end in July. That because a number of regions around the country, even through their first phase, didn't meet the standards of the Clean Water Act. So it may move on because of that. Elkistan has asked for an extension until 2014, so it's going to continue because of that. And because it's really only the implementation, the end of the feasibility study phase is only the beginning of the implementation phase. So municipalities are going to be dealing with these issues for decades. Also, the second point is that any solution to wet weather, sewage issues is going to require a regional solution. And so the municipalities are going to have to collaborate on the solution. Elkistan commissioned a regionalization study, and in that study, they called for greater changes to Elkistan governance and included more municipal participation, things like conveying municipal trunk lines to Elkistan. So there are a lot of major issues out there that the municipalities are going to have to be involved in because, frankly, Elkistan and the county, even though we often look to them for leadership on this issue, they can't tell the municipalities what to do. The solicitor will tell you legally they can't tell the municipalities what to do with their own property. So, and it's difficult for any one municipality to take a step on their own. So we're hoping that through Connect, the municipalities can work together and come up with a regional solution. And our third major point is that whatever the solution is most likely going to include some green infrastructure, some source reduction, and what's called adaptive water management. Other regions, such as the Philadelphia region, that faced an EPA consent decree before Pittsburgh, they put in an all-gray solution and they didn't meet the Clean Water Act standards. So then they added green to supplement the gray. We're not here to say all green or that there's not going to need to be an update to the gray infrastructure. The gray infrastructure needs to be updated. One of the major problems with the system is infiltration and inflow due to pipes that have gone over. So a gray solution is necessary. But there are green alternatives at least to consider, providing municipalities flexibility, maybe cost savings, and things of that nature. Now, the Philadelphia example I gave, one of the things that was nice with Philadelphia is it's a huge city. So they decided where they were going to put green infrastructure in, and they really came up with a regional solution within their political borders. Well, Pittsburgh's a little different. Within about the same area, we have 130 municipalities, and within Elkistan, we have 83 municipalities. So from a governance standpoint, it's much more difficult for our region than it even was with the Philadelphia region. And we think Connect can bridge that divide and bring the municipalities together to build some consensus on these issues. So I'm really not here to sell you anything. All we're asking you to do now is we know you're finishing up your feasibility studies. One of the things we suggested is because green infrastructure technology is going to change, maybe provide flexibilities, possibly put a clause in there reserving executive director of Three Rivers Well Weather will say very plainly, and he does this every day, he's not saying that green infrastructure works everywhere, or that the same level of green infrastructure works everywhere. Pittsburgh is a very complicated region, not only because of the slopes, but also because of how built out we are. But it's possibly at least worth looking at.
Rich, do you plan on putting a committee together? How are you going to structure this?
That's also a very good question. With our partners, Allegheny Conference, Pennsylvania Environmental Council, and Rivers Well Weather, we're working on putting together a steering committee that will start this next phase to hopefully then bring all the municipalities together. But we want to start with the steering committee. We're still working through the process of how to structure that. So, do you have any suggestions?
When do you plan on meeting the first time around?
The steering committee, I would say hopefully early fall, because we're working through the summer to try to come up with what the structure will look like and discuss, because it's really got to be a combination of the municipalities, but there has to be involvement with other stakeholders, such as Alpine. It really doesn't make sense for all the municipalities to come up with a solution if it's not going to be, it's at least not feasible to other stakeholders such as Alpine County. So we're hoping that it'll be really collaborative effort.
Have you talked to somebody in Philadelphia to see how they structured theirs so we're not reinventing the wheel?
I have. I went, earlier in the spring, I went to the Environmental Law Forum in Harrisburg and met with a woman who's the solicitor with the Philadelphia Water Department. And it certainly was interesting to talk to her. Now, they didn't necessarily face some of the legal issues we will have, because, like I said, they're one entity, the city of Philadelphia. But we did talk about, they had a similar situation where there were certain places where green infrastructure worked better than others. But what they did in other places was offer financial incentives for green infrastructure to try to at least, put it region-wide. And there are benefits, even, especially Bellevue's an SSO community, is a mature community. So it's not necessarily the same as a CSO, which is a combined sewer overflow community. They're really trying to pull water out of the system because so much of the water that goes to Alpine isn't even metered. It's just coming in from, if you can keep that where it falls, if you can keep the rainfall where it falls, you're really helping the system. Now, Bellevue's a separate system, but there's still, in Philadelphia was mixed, and there's still things that green infrastructure can help, such as MS4 standards, and some of the other things, and flooding possibly, that's still sort of debated right now.
Any other questions for Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Again, I apologize. I thought I was put on the agenda, but I was not. My name is Scott Bieber. I'm here representing Milton Investments as a partner. I am the car wash at 4589 High River Boulevard. I had sent an email out. I'll read that to you. Kevin, your phone's logged.
Mr. Bieber, there may be no need. I've seen your email,
Okay.
and actually long before your email, the borough's engineer and myself and the DAS have all tried to work this situation out. We're well aware of the situation.
Okay.
The issue is you really have four parties involved. You have the borough, you have Avalon, you have the Allegheny County Health Department, and we have you, okay?
Right.
And working together to figure out what happened during this project in 2010 is sort of, it's a little bit more complicated than you would think.
Okay.
This borough did not undertake that project. Avalon Borough did the project even though it's located within our municipal boundaries.
It was a joint.
It was a joint effort. We only did the payment on it though. So exactly what happened there is really an issue between Avalon and their engineer and their solicitor. And we're working, myself and our engineer and the DAS have been working with Avalon to try and figure out exactly what happened, sort of turn back the clock. The issue that you have particularly is with the Allegheny County Health Department. They've issued notices to you, as I understand.
I've gotten no notices, just verbal communication.
Okay, and that surprises me because the location of this break is another problem. Because the location of the break itself really, as far as liability goes, puts it on your shoulders, okay? And so, the Allegheny County Health Department is going to come after you as the property owner, your investment group, or whoever owns that property. So, as far as an immediate need, and Allegheny County Health Department is really the one where there's going to be an immediate need. They're the ones that want to fix. got it. So they're the ones that want it fixed now. They're gonna come after you, okay? So in terms of an immediate need to fix the problem, that's gonna fall, unfortunately, on you and your investment group or your property owners to fix that problem. As far as indemnification goes then, as far as who pays for that or who has responsibility, who divvies that up, that's something that this borough, myself, the engineer, the DAS, Avalon, their solicitor, their engineer, and their DAS, we're the ones that have to sort of unwrap and figure out exactly what happened here and who has legal responsibility for reimbursing those costs. Does that make sense to you?
It makes logical, chronological sense. I'm just not comfortable with the fact that I didn't create the problem for where the pipe was broken, and I don't know how much money it's going to cost to fix the problem. I have pictures that I can share with council or anyone else. This is obviously, and Jim, and what was the man's name that came down with us?
Michael Payton.
Michael.
He's the interim DPW supervisor.
Yeah, it is obvious that this pipe was cut. The cut of the pipe caused the break across the ravine. So, yeah, my responsibility, but I didn't cut the pipe.
Right, and I mean, the location of the cut, all of that comes into play as far as liability goes. Who cut it, what happened, why did it get cut, did it get broken? There's all these issues that we need to work out. What I'm intending to do is to work with, this borough, Avalon Borough, and you as the property owner, and come together sort of at a meeting to figure out and walk through this step by step. I don't want this is not going to be a situation where we just say to you, hey, forget it, you have liability, see you later. And it's not a situation, I don't think, where Avalon or this borough are going to say right away, yeah, we'll stroke the check, we're responsible. I don't think it's that easy. I think this is a process. The problem that comes into play, it would be an easier situation if the Allegheny County Health Department weren't involved. The problem is that they're the ones that are involved, they're the ones that are putting on pressure as far as fixing the problem.
Right.
And because of the location, because of where that's at, all else aside, taking out as far as what caused it, just based on the location itself, it's going to fall on your shoulders. And until we sort of, get the gum out of the hair, you know what I'm saying? It's really a sticky situation of trying to figure out what happened. Until we're able to do that and segregate who has legal responsibility, who has financial responsibility, the biggest burden, unfortunately, is going to fall on you. And I mean, we're sympathetic to that. I mean, John and I have talked about it. We've all talked about that. But unfortunately, there's nothing we can do until we work with Avalon, because we weren't directly involved in the project. It's not like we can just say, hey, let's pull the engineering and see what happened. It's not that easy. We have to go to Avalon and say, hey, what happened with Chester and their engineering, and go get their drawings and see what happened. And we are working diligently. I mean, I just got drawings today from our engineer.
Do we know the contractor?
Pictures relating to your project. So I mean, we're looking at this
Do
issue.
we know the name of the contractor that did the project, and was he bonded?
Again, I assume Avalon would have all that information. That's why it's not as easy as, it's just not that easy. We have to get that information from another source because they spearheaded the project. The only thing we did was pay half. It was half, correct? That's correct. So, that's where it sits, and this is not in any way, and I know it's your communication inferenced here what you were told. That's not the case at all. We're not turning our back and saying, no, there's no responsibility.
Yeah, I was brought up to speed. Are you John Resnick?
Yes.
Okay. I was brought up to speed that Mr. Resnick talked to Mr. Leach, the Allegheny County Health Inspector, and Mr. Leach said to me, it's your problem. I was informed that you need to sue Bellevue to get your money back.
No.
That was a bit alarming to me.
Yeah, and that's not the case at all.
Okay.
What we are intending to do is work with you, and I'll give you my contact information if you're willing to stay for the meeting, or I actually have your email, so I can just email you.
Okay.
But the borough officials here, the borough officials in Avalon, and you will all
Yeah,
sort of.
because Mr. Leach has actually been, really good to work with. I've been in communication with him, and I thought we were kind of coming to a resolution. So
I have a feeling that although he may be easy to work with, I think that the Allegheny County Health Department's tolerance of this is not going to be very long, though. That's the only thing. They may understand your situation, be sympathetic to it, but I don't think they're going to be tolerant to what's happening there very long. They're going to want an answer. They're going to want to know what's happening. They're going to want it fixed. And it's not until that fix occurs that they're going to get out of the picture, and then we can all sort of sit down and clarify, what happened, and then work out the responsibility for that.
what other information do you have you can give me tonight besides, I need contact information from Avalon, any contractors at this point? I need to follow up and make sure that these guys were bonded. I want them contacted immediately. I'm incredibly slow to this point, and, I'm not thrilled about it. And if it's gonna move that slowly still, I wanna be involved and make sure it doesn't move that slowly.
I think in contacting Avalon to find out that information. I don't think the contractor is on that set of drawings.
Would
So-
Avalon have that?
Yes, they
Is
should.
that Harry Gilmore?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, well, let's wrap this up, okay? My recommendation is, you have, our solicitor will be in contact with you. And of course, you already know that we did it in conjunction with Avalon, and so you may want to try contacting them. So, between talking to our solicitor and with Avalon, I think you have enough at this point. Let's see how it goes, and you can keep us updated on what's happening.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have a motion to review or to approve the prior meeting minutes?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the prior meeting minutes.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes for April 9th, May 28th, May 28th Finance, May 28th Parks and Recreation, May 28th DPW Committee, and the June 4th pre-council meeting. Discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Okay, motion passes. Do we have a motion to approve the payment of the June bill list?
I'd like to make a motion to pay June bill list.
And then,
And the
okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve the payment of the June bill list and the addendum. Questions? Comments on the motion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Roll call, please.
Councilman Braulich.
Aye.
Councilman Camello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Heffley.
Aye.
Councilman Scisciani.
Aye.
Councilwoman Viscusi.
Aye.
Councilman Viscusi. President Woshner.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, reports. The mayor's report?
Mayor's report, we have a total collections of $17,732.40 for the month of May. No other subjects.
Any questions for the mayor? No questions? Thank you, Mayor, appreciate it. Treasurer's not here? Oh, there he is. Okay, sorry. Paul Kuzic, our treasurer.
Good evening. You have in your packet the cash flow comparison sheet and the account number for the account list. The account list has all the different accounts and how much is in each one and what the usage is, the usage of each one. On the cash flow comparison, you can see that we have $422,149.64 as of May 31st in the checking account. We are 44% of all income is in, and 47% of expenditures. We are expecting a rather large, actually, we do already have a large check to put in over $500,000 for real estate tax that we just went in, because at the end of May is the final time to avoid the 2% increase. So that will be put in the next couple of days. The only thing I would say is that we have to be careful of the expenditures due to the fact that we will probably be having a $300,000 shortfall because of the reassessment and the way the millage was figured because of the figure that the county gave us, and now all these appeals are taking that down. Probably, I would say 700, well, we're going to be losing about $50,000. So, right now we're okay. If we stick to the budget, we should make it through. But I'm just asking that all the departments keep watch on the budget items.
Any questions for our treasurer? No, thank you. I know I brought this up, and of course I can't tell you what to do, but I would like to see each particular committee look at the budget department and kind of assess, are we within budget for that department? And if we aren't, then we need to, make sure that we can do whatever we need to do to become within budget. So I'm asking you to do that because I think we need to do that under these circumstances. Administration, Whitney? Okay. Any council reports? Committee chair reports. Finance, Sue Viscusi, chair of finance.
First motion is I move to approve 2 business days for Public Partners of Pennsylvania to transition a new manager.
Do we have a second? Okay, a motion has been made and seconded to approve 2 business days for Public Partners of Pennsylvania to transition the new manager. Discussion on the motion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. One nay. Roll call, please.
Councilman Camello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Heffley. Councilman Scisciani. Councilwoman Viscusi. Councilman Viscusi. Councilman Braulich. President Woshner.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next motion?
I move to recommend to council that bills be signed by 2 committee members at each pre-council meeting every month.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to recommend to council that bills be signed by 2 committee members at each pre-council meeting every month. Discussion on the motion? Should we change that because it's saying recommend to council? Because we're all passing it, shouldn't it state that, that council will sign? Solicitor?
Yes.
Okay. Can we change that motion?
Can orally amend it.
What?
Can orally amend it.
Okay. Sue, would you amend that?
Okay. I move that council the council bills be signed by 2 committee members at each council meeting every month.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mayor,
Go ahead.
because this will affect the art department.
It can show up.
You dropped the part about having it signed at the committee meeting because sometimes people aren't here and then you have to wait till the next pre-council meeting. It says at the pre-council meeting.
Okay, so maybe you can.
Just so they're signed before they are paid would be fine. I just don't think it's too specific about they have to sign it at that meeting, because sometimes your committee people aren't there. At the end of that motion.
I have to think about how this can read. Does everybody agree with that? That seems sensible to me. Everybody's okay with that, not signed by 2 members? Okay, before the bills are paid. Is there any recommendations on how to word that?
No, I think just amending it to say before each bill is paid as far as the timing goes should be sufficient.
Question?
Sure.
If there wasn't sufficient committee people at the meeting, you're a member of every committee anyhow.
Yeah, that's true too. I'm ex officio, then I can do it. Also though, but I like what he said because we could also do it at council. So we could also say that it could be at each council or pre-council meeting. No, okay, no, before it's paid. You like that, Sue?
I move that council bills be signed by 2 committee members before each bill is paid every month.
Do we have a second? Okay. Any discussion on that? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Nays? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Heffley. Councilman
questions for our Chair of Finance? Okay, no questions, thank you, Sue. Parks and Recreation, Jim Scisciani, Chair.
James,
The first motion is to, okay, the fundraiser for August 18th, it's a Sunday, for the gentleman that's over today.
Okay, that would be a fundraiser for Paula DeSantis on August 8th at 18th, I'm sorry, at Memorial Park. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded to permit, I guess, a group to have a fundraiser for Paula DeSantis on August 18th at Memorial Park. Discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Nays? Roll call, please.
Councilman Scisciani.
Aye.
Councilwoman Viscusi.
Aye.
Councilman Viscusi. Councilwoman Braulich. Councilman Camello. Councilman Heffley. President Woshner. Motion carries.
Okay, next motion.
The way the motion is, I'm going to say,
You can make a motion and disagree with it.
okay, so I move to authorize the expense of $2,000 for the independent and entertainment for 4th of July.
Do we have a second? Second. Okay, a motion has been made and seconded to authorize an expense of $2,000 for the Independence Day celebration at Memorial Park. Discussion on the motion. Jane?
Yeah, last year we come under, well, about $1,000, so I'd like the motion to be amended to authorize the expense to be $1,200, and then discuss entertainment. I personally would like to see either the band that was there last year, which was Tom Dirk's son, or this jockey. I personally don't think the entertainment will be suitable for a 4th of July picnic that was suggested last week. So that would be mine.
Okay, Sue?
I was going to say the same thing I did about the entertainment and the money. And I would, think $1,200 is plenty. I know Jim's got a lot of donations.
You know what, could you speak louder because he's
Oh,
out.
I'm sorry. I know Jim's got a lot of donations too this year, like we did last year, so we need $500 for entertainment either.
Okay. Jim?
Yeah. To clarify, I believe that's what the entertainment cost last year. I was able to get donations. The money that was asked for at $2,000 was simply a buffer. Last year was $1,500. It's simply a buffer. I think we brought it in for less than $800 last year, including everything. I respect James' wishes. When you're planning something like this, you don't, I've been doing this myself, and it was a judgment call that I used. We had giggles going on, we had face painting, we had swimming, other things for kids, for senior citizens and the 30-something people. Chris Denham is Neil Diamond is very popular, most popular in the Northeast. At this point, I think I'd like to say something like that. In doing this last year, it really wore me out. And this year it's very difficult. I don't think I can physically do it. So I've been thinking about this for several weeks now, and I'd appreciate it if we could get somebody else to step in and plan the 4th of July celebration.
Okay. Do we have a volunteer? Okay, we have 3 volunteers, so if you wouldn't mind. Okay. But you know what, you do have 2 other people on your committee, so you may want to talk to them for any future event that they can also be part of. Okay, saying?
No, I'm volunteering, but I'm also asking a question.
Okay, let's see.
Jim, if we could have the names and contacts of the people that you've already contacted so far.
Yeah, that's readily available downstairs. The only other people I contacted was Giggles and Kristen.
Okay.
I did nothing else until there was funding available.
Okay.
It's not available until tonight.
Okay, so if you could give that to Sue, Jane?
I'd like to rescind my motion
Okay.
and take it to $1,200.
You sure you want to do it for $1,200?
Yes.
Okay.
Linda, if I could add something, there's a
Well,
possibility.
hold on, let me see if there's a second, then we can do a discussion. Is there a second to the motion? Okay, motion has been made and seconded to authorize an expense of $1,200 for Independence Day celebration at Memorial Park. Discussion on the motion. Jim?
There's a possibility that there'd be a donation for Kristen.
Okay. Then we need to
I
talk
think if you
to,
look into last year's expenses, you'll find that the entertainment ran about the same amount of money.
okay. Then you can talk to the 3 members of council who are going to organize it. Any other discussion on the motion? Sue?
I would like to, I know Jane, one of like $1,200, maybe we could go with like 14 or 15 just in case. Because I think that's what we had last year. I don't know if you.
I would use it as a cushion, so when it turned out to, last year we were fortunate.
Would you amend your motion?
I'd like to make a motion to amend my motion to $1,500 if they're going to vote $1,000.
Okay, the motion has been amended to $1,500 and Sue has seconded. Okay, any other discussion on that motion? Okay, no other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Nays? Roll call please.
Councilwoman Viscusi.
Aye.
Councilman Viscusi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Braulich.
Aye.
Councilman Camello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Heffley. Councilman Scisciani.
Aye.
President Woshner.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next motion?
The last motion is to approve the payment. To approve the payment for the Memorial Park bath houses in the amount of $46,178 by line 452252.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve payment application number 1 and final for the Memorial Park Pool Bath House Roof Replacement Contract in the amount of $46,178 from budget line item 452.252. Discussion on the motion? No discussion? All those in favor say aye. Nays? Roll call please.
Councilman Viscusi. Councilwoman Braulich. Councilman Camello. Councilwoman Heffley. Councilman Scisciani. Councilwoman Viscusi. President Woshner. Motion carries.
Any other questions for our chair of Parks and Recreation? None? Okay, thank you, Jim. Public Works, Chair, Jim Viscusi.
I move to approve the purchase of a Cub Cadet mower and bagger from Home Depot in the amount of $2,547 from budget line item 430-740.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve the purchase of a Cub Cadet mower and
not going to stand up to the test of time. You're going to be throwing a lot of money into it or just throwing it away because they kind of disintegrate over time.
I believe, do you want to add to that? I think our now acting supervisor said our past one was not commercial grade, wasn't it? It
That's what I
wasn't.
was going to ask. I don't know what the other ones were, but then Mike did mention it.
What I'm saying is the difference in price, buying commercial grade, because, we don't have small lawns that we're cutting parks, ball fields, and plus we're using it as a tractor to pull carts with material. You'd be better off to spend a little bit more money and go to a commercial grade mower that's going to hold up for you.
Jane,
We are buying a commercial grade one also, for almost $6,000. So we're
Right.
gonna have one that's heavy duty for everything, does the 3-point, shoot the 60 turn, and it does everything, mowing and all that. The recommendation was to fix, 2 months ago, was to fix the motor on the other motor, lawnmower. And then our DPW worker came up with the, buying the new for the less price. We have 3 parts that we do. And, a small one, the big one will probably do the ballpark, and then the small one will do the other small ballpark, small part, so there's not.
I can tell you as a person who's bought lawn tractors over a number of years, that's designed for the person who just cuts the back door. It's all designed. I mean, spend $2,500, that's fine, but you're only getting what you pay for. It's like when you walk into Home Depot or to Best Buy. They've got a laptop here for $2,000, and they have the same brand over here for $1,000. There's a reason there's a difference. They put inferior components in it. They have a lighter deck, they have a lighter frame, the transaxle is lighter, the transmission, everything. These guys work these machines hard.
Jim?
Did you look into a reconditioned John Deere that would have been around the same price?
Okay, I just know that this was recommended by our acting DPW supervisor, and it's my belief that he said I thought he said at the last meeting that the one it's replacing was not commercial grade. So we're replacing it with like, kind, and quality, so that's why I didn't have a problem with this.
Last one, how many years? 17 years? Yeah.
That was not a Hunt grade. That was a commercial grade that you're replacing. To put an engine in for $2,000 is not a Hunt grade.
Yeah, that's true.
No. But, I just want to bring that up to see what the stuff above the cost, that's all.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Nays? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Bronner. Councilman Camello. Councilwoman Heffley. Councilman Scisciani. Councilwoman Viscusi. Councilman Viscusi. President Woshner. Motion carries.
Any other questions for our Public Works Chairperson? Thank you, Jim. Public Safety Chair, Jane Braulich.
Yeah, there'll be 2 motions. One will be to approve the closure of Lincoln Avenue and North Jackson for the YMCA 5K race on July 20th, Saturday, July 20th, beginning at 7:15 to 9:15.
Do we have a second? Second. Motion has been made and seconded to approve the closure of Lincoln Avenue between North Fremont Avenue, North Star Avenue, Lawrence Avenue, Shade Avenue, North Jackson Avenue, between Shade Avenue and Lincoln Avenue, North Gulf Avenue, between Forest Avenue and Lincoln Avenue, North Fremont Avenue, between Forest Avenue and Lincoln Avenue on Saturday, July 20th, beginning at 7:15 a.m. until approximately 9:15 a.m. for the 6th annual North Boroughs YMCA 5K race. Discussion on the motion. No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Nays? Motion passes. Okay, next motion.
I move to approve the engineering service of HRG of lump sum of $2,000 for preparation for the bid documents of CD 39-311 housing demolition project.
Do we have a second? Second. Motion has been made and seconded to approve the engineering services proposal from HRG in the lump sum amount of $2,000 for the preparation of bid documents for CD 3993.11.4 have 3 resolutions. Do we have a motion for the first resolution?
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 0913, authorizing the real estate tax.
Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution 0913, authorizing real estate tax refunds for specific properties as provided by the real estate tax collector. Discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye. Nays? Roll call please.
Councilwoman Heffley, I apologize.
Aye.
Councilman Scisciani. Councilwoman Viscusi. Councilman Viscusi. Councilwoman Braulich. Councilman Camello. President Woshner.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, do we have a motion for the second resolution?
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 1013, authorizing the donation of unplanned bicycles to Allegheny Center Alliance Church.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution 1013, authorizing donation of unplanned bicycles to the Allegheny Center Alliance Church. Discussion on the motion? Okay, all those, no more discussion, all those in favor say aye. Nays? No one is involved, so,
Well, you're disposing of roll call.
okay. Roll call please.
Councilman Scisciani. Councilwoman Viscusi. Councilman Viscusi. Councilwoman Braulich. Councilman Camello. Councilwoman Heffley. President Woshner.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Do we have
President
a?
Woshner, I apologize for interrupting. I had a question that I would have asked you before we moved any further. There was an email sent out by Councilperson Coder in regards to the next motion, and I didn't see a response to it. I just want to make sure everybody got it.
I know, I got it. So I think we want to know where, what line item we're going to be taking the bond money from.
Well, and I had discussion with our solicitor ahead of time, whether it should be approved before the hiring, after the hiring, or after the fact, because it is above $1,000.
Wendy, did you have the opportunity to look over and see what line item we can take that from?
Somebody got the budget, I can figure it out. It is, somebody wants to write this down.
Go ahead.
400.353. Surety and fidelity bonds. Is the account name.
Okay. So let's see, how do we want to move to approve $3,000 for the
Yeah, it will come up until we do this. And that's what I was telling you. That line, we haven't been able to do it yet. It will be, if you approve the resolution, you're going to get an invoice for that line.
Okay, do we have to do the, do we have to do the today? Or can we wait
You can
until?
wait until it's on the bills payable.
Okay, so we'll wait until the bill's payable? Okay.
Because it'll come up on the invoice. But you're going to, if you vote in favor of the resolution, you're going to get that invoice. That's all.
We're going to take the advice of our solicitor.
Well, and I understand that. My question is, it's above $1,000, which needs to be approved by council before it's spent. Now, I know that there's a time period within the contract, which is great. My concern is that money going to be spent if the insurance is purchased prior to the next council meeting?
We don't know what the invoice is going to be, Whitney.
So wouldn't it make more sense just to approve it now and
Yeah.
get it done?
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
Right.
Who kind of does it from this one? those in favor, say aye. Nays? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Viscusi.
Aye.
Councilman Viscusi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Braulich. Councilman Camello. Councilwoman Heffley. Councilman Scisciani. President Woshner. Motion carries.
Do we have a motion for the next resolution?
I'd like to make a motion to hire the UJS Resolution 1113.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution number 1113, authorizing and directing the hiring of Ron Borchak as a Director of Administrative Services. Discussion on the motion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Nays? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Viscusi. Councilman Viscusi.
Oh.
Councilwoman Braulich. Councilman Camello. Councilwoman Heffley. Councilman Scisciani. Councilwoman Viscusi. President Woshner. Motion carries.
Very good. At this time, I'd like to introduce our new Director of Administrative Services, Ron Borchak. He has many years of experience as a board administrator. And we are very pleased that he accepted our offer, and please welcome him to the Bellevue Borough community. And be nice to him for a couple of months. You know, give him a chance. So, well, thank you. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome. Also, I would like to mention that this is Whitney's last council meeting. Not the On behalf of council and myself, I would like to thank her for a job well done and wish her well on her next assignment. So, and we couldn't have functioned without her, believe me. I mean, she was a lifesaver, and you know, I'm sure she's really going to miss us. I can tell by the smile on her face. So thank you, Whitney. It's been great working with
It's
you.
my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, let me see here. Next on the agenda, we have ordinances. I am going to skip over the noise ordinance. We need to work on that a little bit. Okay, so the next one is the dumpster ordinance. Do we have,
I'd like to introduce for the first reading, the dumpster ordinance.
okay, thank you. Okay, the next one, and this is our third reading, is the meter parking ordinance amendment.
Move to take to the table for third reading to find further discussion on ordinance, to amend ordinance 9320. The parking ordinance.
Okay, do we have a second? Okay, so now, okay, move to take from the table for the third reading and further discussion, or take from the table for the third reading. We don't discuss on table. An ordinance which shall amend ordinance 93-20, section XB to reduce the penalty for a violation of section B to a fine of $25. Okay, do I have a motion to approve this ordinance?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
And do we have a second? A motion has been made, motion has been made and seconded to approve ordinance number 9320, section 2, to reduce the penalty for a violation of section B to a fine of $25. Discussion on the motion? No discussion? All those in favor say aye. Nays? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Braulich. Councilman Camello. Councilwoman Heffley. Councilman Scisciani. Councilwoman Viscusi. Councilman Viscusi. President Woshner.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And is there any old business? Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to bring to the table, off the table, the pawn shop ordinance.
Okay, do we have a second? There's no second? Second. Oh, I'm sorry. A motion has been made and seconded to, is that to take off the table? To take off the table, the pawn shop ordinance. Okay, do we have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the third reading for the pawn shop ordinance.
A motion has been made and seconded to adopt the pawn shop ordinance. Discussion on the motion?
I have one question.
Sure.
When that was sent back, do we have any idea what the council was on sending it back to committee with the number?
In terms of the votes to send it back. I don't have it here, but I have it on record in the office.
Okay, I didn't know if you just don't recall.
I'm sorry, I was talking. What did you say here? I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, no, I thought maybe just somebody off the top of their head, that's okay.
Okay, any other discussion on the motion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Nays? Roll call, please.
Councilman Camello.
Aye.
Councilwoman Heffley. Councilman Scisciani. Sorry, Jim, can you repeat that?
Jim? She can hear you.
Okay. Councilwoman Viscusi. Councilman Viscusi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Braulich. President Woshner.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Do we have any old business? Mayor?
And I know it's a consistent thing to remind everybody of the issues that might come up. It's very hard to hear sometimes.
They're not on.
That one's on. That's why, oh, okay.
We do need to fix them, I agree.
Okay.
That would be one of the things we'll ask Ron to check into, try fixing our plans. Okay, any other old business? Any new business? Whitney? My letter,
It's on the other side.
it's on the other side.
Up here.
There we go, thank you. Aye. I would like to read a letter from David Street. He was our intern for how many months? 3 or 4?
5.
It's been a while. So he sent this to Bellevue Council. Dear Council, I'm writing this letter to thank you for appreciation to the Borough Council of Bellevue for my time spent with this borough as an intern. I really and truly appreciate the opportunities and experience that the borough has given me over the past several months. I gained more experience here in Bellevue than I ever expected to, and I am very grateful that the Borough Council and Administration allowed me to grow and expand my internship duties as time went on. In addition to Council, I would like to thank Mayor Doscher, Paul Kuzic, Whitney Brady, Chief Setner, and the rest of Bellevue's professional staff for giving me such a positive learning experience. David L. Street. So I thought that was very nice. We have been blessed with interns, really have. Any other new business? Public contribution. Are there any visitors who wish to speak? If you can step up, we have 2 minutes. Please state your name and address, and if you could write your name and address on the register.
Paul Cusick, 71 North Grand Avenue. I'm here with a different hat on my carry on with them. Let me just send this. I'm on the executive board of the Chamber of Commerce, and the question I have is with this contract ordinance. It was put on the table and taken back to committee for discussion. Were there any changes to the ordinance?
It has been reduced from 45 days to 30 days. That's the only change I'm aware of. That is the only change.
I hope you know this will be harmful to the businesses in Bellevue who sell things because of fluctuation in the price of gold. You may actually cause some places to move on. It is unnecessary, and there's no benefit to the people of Bellevue. There's people who steal things in Bellevue, don't sell them. They sell elsewhere. We get the stuff from Mid Avenue or from South Fayette. We do not have, it's not sold here. It is places, pawn shop, even though this is pawn shop, it's affecting the legitimate
No,
business.
pawn shop is just a title, that does
These
not.
people have to put out the money and, with a guess as to whether they're going to get the money back because of the fluctuations in price.
Well, how different is the 30 days for Pittsburgh than the 30 days in
I don't
Bellevue?
answer for Pittsburgh, I'm just saying it's going to hurt the people, the businesses in Bellevue.
I wish
I
our
think it's a
chief
bad
was here.
move. I think it's a bad move. With the place to worry about, I mean, sure, everybody wants to get their stuff back, most of them aren't going to. People in Bellevue do not sell produce or it's a gym store. They're not going to sell it, they're going to take it elsewhere. So people in Bellevue are not benefited by this ordinance. So business is hurting.
I can tell you I was a victim of a burglary.
I understand.
And I wanted
No,
my
this is
stuff
personal.
back. It was very much sentimental, things that were given to me.
And it wasn't sold to Bellevue, it wasn't sold to
I have no
produce or
idea.
gyms. Right, because they don't do it here. It just wouldn't make sense. You don't bring stuff here from here. You take stuff that elsewhere and sell it. That's the way it works.
Well, the businesses are free to come to the public safety committee meeting.
I understand, David, I don't think they do this, was coming back up for discussion. I think they should be informed so they can, now that I assume this will be voted on next month, therefore we will have a committee meeting prior to that.
This was our third reading.
This was second reading, wasn't it?
This was the third reading.
I thought it was, it's third reading, so it is passed.
It has passed, so they can feel free to come to the public safety
What do we
committee.
do now? If you're, I mean, it was a unanimous
Ordinance is
decision.
changed.
Pardon? I know it was a unanimous decision, so I don't think that it's going to be.
Jane?
So we should just hear about, you know, the Secretary of Business will come back out and sell that product here.
No, it's just that you're not benefiting people, no, you're hurting the business.
Less products brought through our town, I don't know if you're like.
It won't work. You're just not hurting businesses. They're going to sell it somewhere. You're just not going to be able to sell it here.
Well,
You're legitimately.
my argument was that, you know, they're paying 10 pennies on the dollar for drugs that maybe $5,000 and maybe.
They're not paying pennies.
Okay, I don't go back and forth.
I
so-
understand.
Jane,
No, I wanted to ask a question about that, someone else.
okay.
Since you got your hat on for the chambers. Chambers?
I can answer certainly.
Have you heard anything about the hospital lately?
Yeah, there's a
There's
rumor.
a lot of rumors.
Yes.
Concerning what?
Well, the contract out for the urgent care is out in August. I figured the chambers would know about that.
No, they haven't talked to the chamber about it.
Well, is it Sue's that Catherine Fair is on the chambers?
Yes, but
She's on.
she hasn't brought it up to the chamber.
Well, okay, I'm just letting the council know and our citizens that the urgent care contract is out in August.
The chamber doesn't control that, that's controlled.
No,
But it's a business and,
Yeah, they haven't, they've not discussed it with the chamber.
you know, that would be a concern.
That's all, I think, decisions that have to be made by the new board of the Allegheny Health Network. And I think there are discussions concerning things like that. On also hospital advisory board, so we can deal with that, and those things are in discussion.
So you're on a hospital advisory board too?
Yes.
Oh,
I told you.
we have a lot more information than the rest of us.
Yeah, but nothing was,
Nothing.
things being negotiated.
Can you check into it since you're on the advisory board to see what's going on with our urgent care?
Those things are under negotiation, but I'm not talking about anything.
They are under negotiations?